There we go.
When?
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Shawn Hays. Get it, Shawn?
Woo!
And we are talking about, we're just now starting live. We're talking about the Rockstar Auto Conference coming up next week, Monday, May 14th and 15th. I got to pull the agenda up on here. Whoops. That's for my morning verses, but pull the agenda up here. So next Monday, May 14th and 15th. And so we're doing a few of these little live shows or live promos here. And I am with Shawn Hays right now, who is participating. We both have the opportunity to speak at the Rockstar Auto Conference next week. So good afternoon, Shawn.
Good afternoon to you, Mike. Hey, could you do me a favor and share this in Sales Hustlers so we can get some people?
Yeah, absolutely, man. You just have to talk and fill time for a second, and I don't know
if I can do that, buddy. I don't know if I can do that.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Man, right. I am excited for this weekend, buddy. We are flying out Sunday, and I'm bringing my son, who you met last time when I met you in Philly.
Yep.
And he's 21 now. He's sophomore in college. So it's going to be an amazing time, an amazing experience. I'm so glad I can share that with him and have a great time. But I'm so looking forward to the conference. I'm so looking forward to all the people that I get to see on a daily basis through Facebook, through social media. I get to shake their hand because really I've only met a few. I've met you,
Yeah.
I've met a few of the people, but literally I haven't met all the people that are coming. So I'm excited to be able to meet and shake hands and get to know and fellowship and grow. I think it's going to be an amazing time because there's some amazing heavy hitters coming with great creative ideas. And it's so fun to be around those types of people.
Absolutely. And so I shared this in the Sales Hustlers group. Here's what one of the questions. So you got to fill people in because you're running this group called Sales Hustlers. So you got to fill people in on the Sales Hustlers a little bit and then talk about what you guys are doing for the Rockstar Auto Conference coming up.
Sure. Yeah. Actually, this came on a whim. I had Matt on my show, Sales Hustler Spotlight, which will be on here in a couple hours.
Right.
Little plug, selfless plug. But
no,
on the show,
man. That's what this is about. Plug it all, dude.
Yeah, so tune in tonight. We got the guy that sold 5,500 cars in 5 years. You heard me.
That's
over 1,000 a year. He is in Winnipeg, Canada, and he's only been in the car game like 7 years, and he's selling over 1,000 a year. So he's got 5 team members. It's pretty awesome. So anyways, he'll be on tonight. But I had Matt Koenig on that show, and he was talking to me. He was like, hey, man, have you thought about being a speaker at the Rockstar Auto Conference? And I said, no, but so anyways, we were a couple days and I was like, man, I'm in. This is awesome. The only reason I was second guessing it because I just been to Vegas, man. I had just been to Vegas and we did another conference there. And I was like, man, do I really want to go back to Vegas this close? So anyways, we decided to go all in. And on top of that, we decided, well, if we're going to go, I don't want to stay in a hotel room. Okay, I'm sick and tired of hotels. They're little and dinky. They're small. You pay way too much for way too little. All right. So I was like, what can we do that's kind of stands out and is out of the ordinary, make a splash, make a difference? And I said, what if we can get all the people together under one roof to like mesh their creative ideas? How fun would that be, So we got a mansion, $1 million mansion. We call it the Hustle House. And we're literally, we're having stay at the Hustle House, 28 people. It's going to be amazing. It's a $5 million mansion. It's got 14 bedrooms. It's just pretty awesome. So because we're going to be together and having a good time.
No, I think it's going to be phenomenal. The way you guys have it set up, I'm jealous. I'm staying at a little hotel. But here's the cool thing for me. It's going to be the first time that my wife and I have ever been to Vegas together because I've been to several conferences in Vegas. I've attended them. I never had the opportunity to participate and speak in one quite like I'm doing this time with you and the rest of the guys. But it'll be the first time that her and I have actually ever been to Vegas together. I mean, we've been other places, but it's Vegas, baby. So yeah. That's exciting. So, okay. So I've got some questions lined up just so we can run through it. How long have you, and I'm just going to dive right into it. So how long have you been in the automotive industry, Shawn?
I got in 2007. Back then, like a lot of us, I was kind of running out of options in my life because I had hit kind of a bad spurt because I really wasn't a good person. So make a long story short, I could fill it with a bunch of filibuster and make it sound all, that I had it all planned. But no, man, I was like a young person who hadn't grown up yet. I was burning the candle at both ends. I really had no long-term plan. I had my car repoed twice, broke, and kind of just fell into it on accident. And it was a blessing to me, because not only that, it gave me a lot of discipline, gave me structure, but more importantly, I found something I was really, really good at and that I enjoyed. See, I'd done sales for a while, Mike. I had done sales for a while, but the problem is the sales I was doing was more door-to-door and more phone calls and more stuff like that. And if anybody's ever done that before, that gets old after years, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it just gets old. The grind gets old, and I just got bored and tired of it, and it's not inspiring. But when I found the car business, people come in, they actually have interest in your product. And I was well trained. I was really good if you got somebody in front of me. I just got tired of going and chasing customers, if that makes sense. So when I found the car business, I was like, wait a minute, people come here interested in what I already have. All I got to do is make them like me, understand that my product is excellent, and then make them feel more comfortable and build rapport. And that was something it came naturally to me.
No, so you've been in for 11 years, and what's your right now, and I know you have many roles in the auto industry, but right now, so you're saying you like the fact people came to you, and I being that you and I have met in Philadelphia last year, I know you shine in person. There is an energy about Shawn Hays in person that you can never portray on camera. I'm telling you, it really, you do a really good job on camera. Don't get me wrong, but for the people that haven't met you, it's one of those, and I'm not kissing butt or anything. You really are a phenomenal, like your energy, it vibrates, man. It gets people going in person. So what is your role in the auto industry right now?
Well,
I know that I'm not saying put one label on it, but what you got a lot of things that are encompassing. So
I would tell you what my label I want to be. How about that? I want to make a difference. I want to make a difference. And that can be in multiple layers. And right now that's what it is. It's in multiple layers. I'm making a difference in my dealership, but then I'm making a difference in a more of a national stage, being able to help other people like myself who are just, trying to make a living, get better every day, growing. But the thing I really want to focus on long term is I want to help the salesman, the person out there grow individually. All right. Because I think we focus way too much on sales skills and not people skills and how we grow as a person. And I believe that they are hand in hand, but the dealerships never have taught us that over the years. In fact, they taught us the opposite. They taught us, cutthroat, and let's just, worry about yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't grow. Don't worry about nothing. In fact, strap yourself with so many bills that you have to go to work. In fact, have no home life. Don't worry about your family. In fact, it's better for us if you're divorced, to be honest with you. All right. So I want to cultivate the man and the woman that's out there slinging metal to be a better person. Because once they do that, they will become a better salesman.
No, that's a very, very strong message, and I think you're right on the money. I as much as I can, I watch. You really do have the full package, because it's one thing on one side. You're so multifaceted that it's like, yes, you're a salesperson on one end. You do your sales hustler spotlight. Say that 5 times fast. You're accustomed to it. I'm not. And that brings a whole different dynamic of the person behind the salesperson, which I think is awesome. And I catch most of those. I think you do a phenomenal job. That's why, like right now, it's a little intimidating to interview the interviewer, because you're the man at it.
What's funny about that, Mike, is when I first done that, everybody wanted me to do the tricks of the trade. That's what everybody kept saying. In fact, the first couple of weeks, I had some people push back on me and say, it's, this or that. That's not really what I thought you would do. And I was like, look, man, it's not always about, we're all going to have a sales process. We're all going to be talking about what works for us. Right. At the end of the day, more importantly, I want to know about you. And I think if the salesman stops worrying about the tricks of the trade and understands what it takes to build a relationship with another person, another human being, they'll be further ahead. But unfortunately, that's what I'm trying to do with Spotlight, is show you that, look, there's a man and a woman behind the salesperson, okay? Get to know that person. And if you translate that into your customers, you're going to sell a lot of cars, man.
It's the real human. It's the human element. Like that's the huge part. So kind of as we come to I have a couple more, pre-canned questions, but I have one other one I want to ask you too. Sure. But so you mentioned your family. Tell us about your family a little bit. I met your oldest son, but you got some other stuff going on too.
Yeah, man. I've got a son who's a sophomore in college. I have a beautiful wife, my wife, Angela. In fact, I took off today. That's why I'm kind of sitting out here on the back porch. We spent the whole day together and hung out. She's very supportive, great wife, love her to death. But now we just adopted. Well, we didn't adopt. We're fostering a little girl named Trina, and from a family member who had some obvious issues. And it was either that or group home. So we stepped up and took her, and it's been challenging. But we're excited every day for the next challenge. And we're growing as a family right now. It's really tough when a little girl's been through trauma and drama, and no rules whatsoever. And she comes into a structured atmosphere with rules, with discipline, with expectations. So it's a little bit of a battle, but we're good parents. So we'll keep supporting her and keep a firm grasp on her success and her gaining, and she'll come around.
No, I will tell you, I've watched, again, living vicariously a little bit through pictures, and you can even see the shift in that little girl. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to ask you, some of the question, not that you post a whole bunch of that stuff, but the ones that you share, you can see the light, if that makes sense. You can see the light and the smile and stuff.
Well, that's one thing I want to actually talk about at the Rockstar Auto Conference. My session is going to be talking about branding yourself.
That's my next question, man. Don't beat me to the punch. Don't steal the thunder. So, Shawn, what's the topic of your session next week at the Rockstar Auto Conference?
Well, Mike, I'm glad you'd ask, right? It's going to be about that, about branding yourself, and how I think it's important that the dealerships understand how important it will be in the present, but in the future, and why it's important for the salesman to do it properly. Okay, and I see a lot of people out there, and most of the sales hustlers are understanding. We try to teach them the right way. There's a right way and a wrong way, and social media is a huge tool if used properly. And a lot of people don't use it properly. And I think it's so important in marketing and gaining better, because I really believe, Mike, within the next 10 years, car sales is going to be 90% marketing and 10% actual sales skill. I really believe that. Okay.
I agree with that. I do marketing, and I would agree with you wholeheartedly.
And if you're not good at marketing yourself, nobody's going to know what you do, and they're going to go to the person that is marketing themselves. And you might be a better salesperson, but nobody's going to find you, right? And it's going to sacrifice your dealer. It's going to sacrifice your pocketbook. It's going to sacrifice your gaining the financial freedom you want. And basically what we all want is financial freedom. I want to be able to get to a point in my life, and that's why I'm hustling so much. That's why you see it. I'm living what I'm saying every day. I'm showing by example, because I know I have a window, Mike. Mm-hmm. I have a window to make a difference right now, and I can feel the momentum, and right now I need to strike at that. And I don't mean strike in a bad way. I mean to use my talents that God gave me. Use them. It's finally clear in my mind, man. I finally got a balanced life. I've got a centered mind. I know what I'm supposed to do, and now I'm just going to put all my effort, everything I've got, into what I'm good at. And that's what it's important is finding your marketing skills, finding what you're good at, finding where your passion is, and then throwing yourself in it. And I still don't understand why dealerships are scared of their salesmen marketing themselves, because here's what I've heard so far, Mike. Tell me if you've heard this too. Sure. Well, I'm scared of two things. First, that they'll take my customers with them if they leave. And secondly, that they'll represent my dealership improperly. And I'm like, first of all, both of those things don't make any sense, because they're already representing your dealership on a day-to-day basis and on Facebook. They don't have to say your name.
They're doing it live in person, man.
Exactly. And then secondly, when they leave, if they're a good salesman anyways, they already got your contact information. I already got you in my phone. I already got you on my Facebook connection. So really, I know the way they're thinking, but it's old school, man, because now everything is modern day. You got to move with the times a little bit or you're going to get left behind.
Well, and absolutely. And it's 10% of the people are what 90% of the businesses wait on anyway. It's 10% that are going to be the jerks, that are not going to handle it right, that aren't going to represent it right, that are going to do those things anyway. So why are you basing your whole business model on that 5 or 10% of either bad people or people that don't fit it? They're not in it for the right reasons anyway. But I think it's that fear of loss mentality, right?
Well, hold on, Mike. Why are they fear of loss? Just treat your people better and have a better culture and pay them, and they won't want to go anywhere.
No, I agree with that. I'm saying in general, you will end up, it's that one bad apple out of 10 or 20 that they have the fear. You understand what I'm saying? I agree with you. I'm a huge fan. I mean, we've talked, you and I have talked before, like my BDC, the average tenure in here is 5 years because we treat our people well. And you tell somebody that about a BDC, they go, are you kidding me? 5 years? How does that happen? Well, because they're awesome people and we treat them well and they treat us well and it all works, right? I'm saying in general, if you're basing that decision on the one bad person or the 5% or the 10%, because there's always going to be some in every industry, not just automotive. We're talking automotive because that's where we live. So
sure.
So anyway,
I'm excited for it though, man.
Yeah. So I was going to say, take us out. What's what kind of as we come to a close here, because we're just doing these off of the cuff. What's the one or two things that you really hope to gain next Monday and Tuesday? Like, what are you going to see? Is there something specific you're going seeking, or are you just going saying, hey man, I'm going to meet all these people, awesome experience, and you're just going to take everything in that you can? What's the one or two things that you think, man, here's what I would really like to pick up, or here's what I would really like to learn next week?
This is strictly why I want to go, okay, other than to speak and to share, obviously get your name and your exposure out more, but that's not really why. I could do that from my house. Sure. The reason I want to do that, I want to go there, is to make a difference in one person's life that weekend. I don't know who it is. I have no idea, Mike. You and Dan made a difference at you in Philadelphia at that conference. I'll never forget the day. I'll never forget the day when you guys approached me at the end and basically, you actually made me teary-eyed, because it was that first revelation that somebody appreciated what I was doing and that I had talent. Okay. And I want to make a difference in somebody else's life like that. You know what I mean? That inspiration, that giving, if I can give anything, if I can give my, just a word, guidance, a direction, influence. And then just on top of that, man, the talent that's going to be there. I really believe, have you ever been like where something started small and next thing you know, it mushroomed? And I had that spotlight the other night with Ben Gay. Do you know who Ben Gay is? Okay, yes, so I had the spotlight with him, and he was telling me about the first company he was the CEO of, right? Mm-hmm. And he was telling me about, he sat next to in the morning meetings every day, Zig Ziglar, Nightingale. Okay, we're talking about all these heavy hitters now we look at as legends. At that time, that's the way they were. They were in there, and I feel like that's what's coming to Vegas. We're all coming together at one time, right? Who knows what can happen? Who knows the fellowship, the leadership, the long-term networking opportunities? I mean, we're all going to make a difference in each other's life. And I feel there's a movement in this industry right now. I feel like there's a huge movement, and I feel like we're all a part of it. And if we network together, we can make a difference together, because we're stronger that way. I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. Neither can Glenn Lundy, Dave Benson, Matt. None of them can do it by themselves. But if we all get together with the same beliefs and the same strength, and we get together and we have that power in the industry, we got leverage then. And leverage brings change. And change is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make a difference in the world, leave a legacy, and build this thing and change it. So one day when I'm old, okay, they can look back and say, oh yeah, Shawn Hays, he made a difference. And really that's all I want to do, is make a difference.
That's phenomenal, and I think all of us do. I think the collection of people that are going next week we're all moving kind of in unison in that direction, and I think it's awesome. So, kind of in closing here, for anybody that's watching, if you haven't bought your tickets yet, the question is why not? Hit up Shawn Hays, hit me up. Every one of us has discount tickets. We're all coming together. It's like you guys posted it in the Sales Hustlers that it's like the automotive Avengers that are going to be out there. That's I know you guys have your own thing for the automotive Avengers, but that's how I took it. It's because I think it's going to be awesome.
That's exactly right. I mean, think about this. In one place, I mean, just one house, you got Bill Have, you got Glenn Lundy, you got myself, you got Dave Benson, you got Chad Morgan, Colin, these Dom Box. I mean, these people are like really trying to make a difference in this industry. Then at the conference, you got Mike Phillips, you got Joe Calla, you got Matt Koenig. I mean, you got everybody who wants to make a difference, and we're all on the same agenda. And I think if we get together and we can make changes, and there's going to be important people there that need to hear what we have to say, man.
I agree with you. So thanks for going just kind of off the cuff with me today, having a talk about this. We'll reshare it on Facebook, reshare it on YouTube. Like I said, for anyone who didn't get tickets yet, if you want to see that sort of passion and energy that Shawn's bringing, that all the other speakers are bringing, myself and Matt and Mark Tewart and Joe and all these other just phenomenal guys, man, make sure and get your tickets. And we look forward to seeing you next Monday. Shawn, thank you so much for taking the time this afternoon and jumping in here with me. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, Mike. Love what you do. I love the front, by the way. You do an amazing job on that. What is it? Podcast. Anybody that hasn't seen it or hasn't watched it, you got to go to Mike Phillips's page or any of the groups and look at the front. He does a phenomenal job, and it's always a great topic. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Shawn. We'll talk to you later, man.
All right, buddy.